Hello, everybody. Happy March. Uh, yeah, it's been about a month, I guess, since I posted anything of significance. So I'm here again with a goals update, seeing as it's a new month. We are about a week into this new month, and I figured it was about time that I update you guys on how things are going for me. So I'm not going to spend too much time breaking down all the different goals, projects, and intentions um, like I did last time because I don't want to repeat myself in these videos. So if you are interested in the overall scope of what I'm planning to do this year, um, definitely check out my previous February update video. But basically, the gist is that I am having quarterly goals that will be posted on Instagram, and then I'm going to be doing monthly updates here on YouTube where I can kind of talk in more depth. And my goals are divided into goals, projects, and intentions. So we're just going to dive right into how things have been going. And I do apologize for rocking the chair. I get it's one of those things you just start doing. Um, yeah, so one of the goals of this quarter, make $2,500 in revenue. I have so far made $237, which is super incredible for the beginning of the year. Like, usually in January and February, I might sell one or two books, like, really, like, crossing your fingers the whole month, hoping that you'll get a sale. But I sold 23 books in January and exactly 23 books again in February, which are just crazy numbers for me for those months. And also for online sales. Like, I've sold more books on Amazon this year so far than like I have in a long time outside of a book launch. Like, my last book released um it'll be a year ago this month. So it's been a while since I've had that really big push and the hype of a release. So yeah, it's really cool to see those numbers go up. So far this month I haven't sold any, which is a real bummer, but that's just the way that it goes. And hopefully I will be able to get at least one sale this month. That's always the goal, is to sell something. And yeah. So the next goal, make $500 from EHP Academy. I have not yet finished EHP Academy, so therefore that goal is kind of moot until I start making progress. I'm supposed to sell 125 books this quarter. I'm at 46. And these quarterly goals are, I simply take my yearly goals and divide them equally into quarters. So I didn't actually expect to sell a whole 125 in the first quarter of the year because, again, that's when it's the hardest to sell books, I find. So I figured I would pick up the slack in like the summer months, which it's still looking like I'm going to have to do because I sold 46 out of 125. So that means that I have 75, like 79 more books that I have to sell in March alone, and it's already the 7th and I haven't sold anything. Oh great, there's a wasp in my room. That's fun. I'm gonna ignore that for now. Anyway, so I've already sold 46. I don't think that I'm going to sell 79 in the month of March, in the remaining 3 weeks of March. But I'm super happy to have sold the 46 that I did sell because I won't have to make up as much in the later months, which is really cool. Goal number 4, read 6 books. Haven't been doing so well with that. As I discussed in the previous video, I've been rereading my own series, which obviously still counts as reading, but doesn't really fix my enormous physical TBR that I'm supposed to be focusing on this year. But let's see, I've read Silent Night, I've read Sacred Brews, I don't know, at least a third of the way through Solemn Vow. And then this past week, so in March, so it doesn't really count towards this video, but I've been reading A We Who Wrestle with God on audiobook during my commute to work, and that's been really great. I've been enjoying that. So with any luck, I should be able to definitely be able to finish the book this month. This is like the first audiobook I've basically ever actually listened to on my own. so I'm not really familiar with how long it takes to finish an audiobook, but I'll definitely get it done this month. Get into 2 libraries. Now, I've kind of slacked off on these kind of goals, mostly because I've had a few blips in my personal life that have just like, taken up time and energy and things. I was in a minor collision in my car early February, rode off the car. I'm totally fine, but it was an incredibly stressful time trying to find a new vehicle, dealing with insurance companies, the stress, like all of it. So, life has just kind of finally gotten back to normal. And then over the weekend, I cut my thumb doing the dishes, so I can't. It's been great. I've been having not very great luck, but we're still persevering. So anyway, I haven't actively tried to get into bookstores or libraries. So I'm supposed to get into 2 bookstores and 2 libraries per quarter. I did start the research for the bookstores, but I didn't do anything for it in February. But in February, I did have a ebook sale to a library. So I'm going to count that. So I'm halfway there towards my goal. Obviously, I didn't actively seek that opportunity out, but it still counts. So my other half of my goals, get 6 new reviews, get 6 newsletter subscribers. I don't know if I've gotten any newsletter subscribers this year yet. I didn't actually check, so I could be completely wrong, but at most it's like 2. So that's not going great. I just put out a newsletter yesterday, and I've renamed it. It's going to be called the Fedalian Chronicler going forward, like how you might have like a local newspaper that's kind of named like the Chronicler or the Post or whatever. And I just wanted it to be like more of like an experience almost, where it's not just like me trying to come up with a cool, catchy like headline for it every time. It's just, the Fedalian Chronicler comes into your inbox, it's me, and then you get to see what I'm talking about. So I'm hoping with some like extra like branding and really like honing in on the point of the newsletter that I can start bringing more people in with it. That's another thing that I just got to find time to do. Reviews, have not gotten any new reviews yet this year, though my Goodreads ratings have gone up. So I know I've gotten at least 3 or 4 ratings on Goodreads, which is really cool. Don't know who those people are, but I appreciate you. If you do feel inclined to leave a review, that would be awesome. It could even just be something like, I like this book. But yeah, reviews are super helpful. And also, like for any author that you read, if you can rate and review their book, it's just amazing what that can do for them. Goodreads, Storygraph, Fable, where you bought the book is especially important. Like even if it's not Amazon, if you bought it on Kobo, you can review it on Kobo, and like every little bit of customer feedback, for lack of a better term, just helps boost that product, right? Like just the basics of marketing and that kind of stuff, right? So like obviously like a book is like an art form, but it still benefits from the same stuff that like a mattress would on Amazon, right? So anyway, that's not been going great, but these goals are kind of the stuff that I don't really have direct control over per se. So it's just like keeping track of it. Another goal for this quarter was to attend one event, which I did do. I was at the Kirkfield District Historical Society's local author book fair a couple weekends ago, and it was really nice. It was an interesting, they did like all the authors went up on the stage and oh god, the wasp. All the authors went up on the stage and did like excerpts or talked about their book, and it was a really cool experience. We had little mocktails and treats, and then people could buy the books. I think we all sold 1 book, but I mean that's definitely better than nothing. And it was just a cool experience, like a definitely a different, unique kind of event. They think they might do one again in the fall, so if you're in the Kawartha Lakes area, Kirkfield, I might be there in the fall selling my books again. And I actually came across the gentleman who bought my book a couple days ago actually, and he said that he's halfway through it and he's really liking it. So, you know, that's a win. The next is get 75 Instagram followers, which again is seems like an arbitrary number, but it's like a breakdown of my entire goal for the year. And Instagram has just like really been killing me lately. It just feels like it doesn't matter what you do, you don't grow. But it's not just like, it's not like I don't really want to grow just for the sake of growing, you know, like it's not about the numbers. It's about like quality over quantity, right? But it doesn't seem, it just, the followers I have, I'm not getting any benefit from them either. So it's like I don't even want, like, I almost don't want any more followers because I'm not getting any benefits from the ones I already have. So why would I want extra? And like, let me explain that, because that might sound, you know, arrogant or whatever, but I have almost 2,000 followers. It's like 1978 or something, and I've been at like 1970 for what feels like forever. But I have 1,900 followers, and a lot of my posts will get like 5 likes, maybe a comment if I'm lucky, couple shares here and there from some of my like really close friends, and that's about it. And a post that does really well for me will get like 30 likes. I've seen the occasional, and I mean like maybe 2 or 3 times a year, where I've gotten like 100 likes on something. And again, I have 1,900 followers. And obviously, nobody expects all 1,900 people to like and comment and share and interact with you with every post that you make, let alone like, you know, we don't expect people to be constantly on you and only you all the time. Like, I understand, like, you follow a whole bunch of people, you have busy lives, but the math isn't mathing. 1,900 followers and only like on an average day like 10 likes. Like, the math is staggering with like the percentages if you like do the math on that. Like, it's crazy to me that you could have. So what I did was I actually went through my list of people who follow me, and I cut out like 300 people, 300 accounts, because most of these accounts you could tell were no longer accounts or were bots, or, you know, like I went through it. I didn't, you know, spend like an hour on each person's page trying to figure out. It was just, you know, this person I can tell is one of those people that just DMs authors asking for money to review their book. Got rid of all those people. Got rid of like all the faceless profiles that have like 0 posts, and, you know, like the numbers just look weird. It's like, no, get rid of all that junk, because it's bogging down my page, right? And like the algorithm, I don't know much about it, but obviously if 1,900 people follow you, but there's like, you know, 1,000 of them that are inactive, they're not looking at your content. But Instagram doesn't know that they're inactive per se. It just knows that they follow you but don't interact with you, which means that there's something wrong with your content. Like, I'm not explaining it very well, but I think you might get the gist of what I'm trying to say. Is that it like puts a bad light on your account, in my opinion anyway. It's like, from what I know of it, that makes sense to me. So I went through and I got rid of a bunch of them, because it's like, you know, what's the point of them? Like, they're not benefiting, I'm not benefiting, it's just a number. So, you know, so I deleted like 300 followers. So I have not gained 75 followers this quarter. I've lost a bunch, but like, it's not really a loss when I chose to let them go. And then hopefully it'll give room for new people who, you know, actually are interested to follow me. So yeah, that's my story on that. And we know from the last video that my next goal of get 78 TikTok followers, I have long since surpassed after that viral video. in January, I believe it was. I don't even know how many TikTok followers I've gained, but it's probably over 1,000 by now. Like that video that we talked about last time, like it's still getting views, which is crazy. But the other thing is that my other videos that I've posted since then are getting the same kind of engagement and views that my videos did before I went viral. So like that post in itself is like an outlier. I don't know how much it actually helped my account despite gaining all those followers. It doesn't seem like a lot of those people are actually engaging with my content beyond that point, which is kind of sad. Like, I don't know. Social media is just really failing us, I feel, in recent years. Like, when I first started my Instagram, you could really build a community and people would comment and people would read your caption and answer the questions and, ask questions and be a part of the conversation. But yeah, it's really tough. And I'm not going to give up on it because I still think it's the best way to get the word out there about my books, but I just wish it was structured differently. And then the last goal was to interview for one podcast. I still haven't done anything for that. So probably should get on that because I have 3 more weeks to fill that goal. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. Okay, moving on to projects. So, finished Project Ruin Draft 3. Not done. And it kills me to say that because my deadline, if you watched the last video, you would know, my deadline was January 31st. And it is now March 7th, and it is not done. But by the grace of God, I may finish it this weekend. That is the plan. That is the hope. Last weekend I was supposed to finish it. Again, cut my thumb. That was a whole debacle. And it's been so much stress. And we had an event in Toronto yesterday, which, took the whole evening and whatnot. So it's just been finding the time to sit down and write has been so hard. And I haven't really found a good system for it yet, but I feel like if I can just get this draft done, I will have crossed a huge mountain and it'll be easier from there. Like, it won't be done because I still have a lot of work to do on the book, but I'll have crossed the biggest part of it. So, yeah, please pray for me. The next project is EHP Academy, which if I'd finished Project Ruin when I was supposed to, I would have spent the entirety of February working on EHP Academy. But, that didn't happen. So I have recorded a few bits and pieces here and there. But have not made great progress with that. So I'm hoping I set aside February, March, and April to do everything related to the first phase of EHP Academy. So hopefully I still have enough time to get that done with the extension of Project Ruin's timeline. So really hoping, because this is a project that I've been dreaming of and working on for a long time, and I keep pushing it off, and I feel bad for not necessarily leading people on, but saying that something is coming and then pulling back from marketing it and then trying to market it again and having to this constant push and pull is exhausting for both sides. So I'm hoping that this time I can really commit and get it done. And yeah. And if you don't know, EHP Academy is my new offering for authors where I teach on various subjects of how to self-publish. So if you're interested in that, we'll be launching April/May with any luck. And you can currently get the free course, about 50 minutes of content on my website. So definitely check that out if you're interested, completely free. And then what I'm working on will be the paid stuff that will be more in depth. The third project is finalizing the Guild Trilogy cover rebrand. So I changed the paperback covers to match the hardcovers, and I can thankfully say that is not quite done, but 99% of the way there. So I've got it live on Amazon, which is the main platform that I publish on. So you can buy the new covers paperbacks on Amazon, and then I am in the process of finalizing them on Ingram Spark. That takes a bit longer. You've got to wait for your e-proofs to come. You've got to click all the buttons. You got to look through it. And then you got to wait for it to like slowly upload to all the different platforms and slowly replace the old editions. So, you know, I just have to review the last 2 e-proofs, which I'll probably do after I finish this video. And then once I've done that, it's out of my hands and I'm just kind of waiting for all the stuff to happen behind the scenes. So basically that's done, but I'll definitely be able to check it off when we do our March recap. Next project is to touch base on GT audiobooks. GT standing for Guild Trilogy. And that is a task for this month. I will be contacting my narrator again and saying, okay, like just figuring out what the timeline is going to be, because we started it back in the fall. She had something come up and we said we would revisit it around this time. So I'm going to touch base with her and we'll come up with a plan. The next one is to research Amazon/Facebook ads. As you may know from the last video, I started those. They worked really well. So I continued them. The new ad that I'm running on Amazon is from February to the end of March, and I decided that that'd be 3 straight months of ads, and then I'm going to take a break for the second quarter and maybe revisit it again in the third quarter. But it worked really well in January and then early February, but I feel like it petered off at the end of February, and I paid a lot of money for the ads, but I didn't get any sales from them. So I don't know how, like, I think I really need to educate myself more on the strategies of the ads before I spend more money, because like it's pay to play, right? And the idea is that, you know, the person clicks on your ad, they buy the first book, and now you've paid for that ad. But if they like the first book, they'll buy the second and the third without the need for the ad, and so you make the money in the back end when they complete the series. But if a bunch of people are clicking on the ad and not buying, then you don't get that back end revenue because they didn't even buy in the first place. So I don't know. It's definitely an experiment, but I have checked that off of my list. So, and then the last one is to get signed copies on my website, and I've kind of sort of like started this. I had some defective copies come from Amazon. Surprise, surprise. So I have those up on my website. They're scratch and dent copies, so they're $5 plus applicable shipping fees. So you're saving $15 on the regular cost of the book, and it will come signed, and it just has some wrinkling on the spine, so the spine looks broken even though it's not, but everything else about the book is totally fine. So if you want a $5 copy of Silent Night, Sacred Ruse, or Solemn Vow, definitely check that out before they're gone. But so I've got that set up, so it shouldn't be too difficult to then set up the regular price books, but I just haven't really gone around to it yet. And that concludes the projects, and I'm watching the wasp approach from a distance on the floor. This is great. Okay, so the last one is intentions, and this is just kind of more personal stuff that I want to work on this year. So the first one, work out 2 to 3 times a week. Pretty sure I did decently with that in January. But in February, I crashed my car again. I got this, it's some kind of nerve damage, we think. I haven't had time to go get it looked at yet because, you know, I work full time and all these places close at 5 and our weekends have been busy, but like I can't stretch my arm past that point without pain. So I haven't been going to the gym because I can't. And then again, the thumb. So they're not poor excuses, but they are excuses, and I really need to get back on the bandwagon. So I need to get this arm figured out, get the thumb healed, and then, you know, dig in for the rest of the year. So we'll see how that goes. And then book a long weekend off. with the ensuing financial crisis after losing my car, I don't think a vacation is happening anytime soon. We've used a lot of vacation days for certain various things, weather days, setbacks. So maybe next quarter. Go on 3 date nights. That I think is going well. We did take a few times to, like, have a quick dinner. We went again to Toronto this past week, so that was fun. So yeah, it's going all right. Read every day is not going great, but I think it's starting to go better. So I'm excited to, maybe take some of the pressure off of that, and it might actually happen. Bake at least once. Haven't done that. Was going to do that the same day that I cut my thumb. So if I can get the dexterity of my thumb back before the end of March, I will definitely get that item checked off the list. And then the last one is working on better skin/hair care routine, and I haven't really done that, so I'll hopefully get on that soon. But yeah, that is my story. That is how things are going, and I hope that I can continue to do well, because yes, so far, like, personal life has not been great in 2025 so far, but my author life has been going pretty good with the sales numbers and the TikToks and the ads and stuff, so I'm hoping I can continue to improve. So thank you so much for watching this video all the way to the end. If you have goals that you're working on, you want to let me know how you're doing, let me know in the comments. If you have any questions for me regarding any of this, let me know. And if you want to check out any of the things that I mentioned in this video, the links are all in the description. So yeah, thank you. See you guys next month.